We are guaranteed a trade deal.
If we left the EU, we go through a 2-year negotiating period. The worst case scenario at the end of it is we don't get a tariff-free deal.
Any Prime Minister, anyone doing the negotiating can almost pick and choose.
Well, the one thing that they all have in common is that they are part of a free trade area, and that's the one thing I think we can take for granted.
So negotiating a free trade agreement will be as easy as we want it to be. It's not as if we're India, where the history and the culture and the trade terms and so on are very, very different. They are completely aligned.
So you think actually the easy negotiation,
totally, absolutely.
We're already inside the single market. They have obligations to us not to impose trade tariffs or barriers that don't already exist.
Well, I have no doubt at all that we will carry on trading tariff-free, without tariff, with the European Union.
Tariff-free, which means a single market.
Well, that's free trade.
Is the deal we will have with Europe will not only be better for us, but it'll be better than the deal the Europeans have amongst themselves.
That's rather the point of it, I think.
Access to the European market will be maintained, and access to other markets around the world will be increased. That's really much of the argument for leave.
Do we really believe that in Germany that car workers would accept losing jobs as the price of the vanity of a particular leader? Do we really believe that a French president or prime minister would deliberately seek to restrict French farmers' access to our markets? I don't believe that's credible.
A free trade arrangement that continued to give access to UK goods and services on the European continent.
We will come up with a UK solution, and part of that will be keeping the very, very satisfactory and extraordinarily integrated arrangements we have with the Republic of Ireland.
They've looked back at how that article came into the treaties, and the whole purpose of it was to avoid an economic shock for both sides if somebody left.
No, that's not right at all. The Badgers have moved the goalpost.
It's simply a fantasy.
You could have 2 referendums, and as it happens, it may be more sense to have the second referendum after the renegotiation is completed. You could have 2 referendums, and as it happens, it may be more sense to have the second referendum after the renegotiation is completed. You could have 2 referendums, and as it happens, it may be more sense to have the second referendum after the renegotiation is completed.